Hey, hi guys. My name is Shubham. I'm founder of Auditzy, and today I'm going to walk you through the brand new features that we are launching. So today we have launched bulk core wave vital test. It's one of its kind. We are one of the very select few companies globally who have developed this kind of feature. Now, those who are already using Auditzy, they know that we primarily operate in website performance and monitoring space. And having said that, there are two kind of metrics. One is known as synthetic monitoring and one is known as core web vitals, or the real user monitoring. So right now the core web vitals that you see, it's based on Chrome user experience data sets. And currently, even if you go to page speed insights, or if you're using any other sort of software, you probably see that you can perform one test on one URL at one particular point in time. In addition to that, we realized that okay, why to give only 28 days period of data, and we started utilizing Google Crux API, which allows us to look into last 6 months of data of any particular website URL, those who are experiencing Crux data sets. In addition to that, we realized that what if we can just allow the businesses to perform bulk core web vital tests, right? You heard it right. So right now with Auditgy, we have just launched bulk core web vital test feature. It's in beta, and in this particular feature, you can perform bulk core vital test on any particular domain for up to 5,000 URLs. Each URL extraction takes somewhere around 4 seconds. So the number of URLs you will have, the time will be higher, but our system will give you a very wholesome report. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what exactly is core web vital test, how exactly you need to use it, what is Google Crux API key, how you need to map it with Auditgy, and how you can utilize this whole new feature at its full capacity. So let's start and understand what exactly is bulk core wave vital test. So bulk core wave vital test, or CWV, stands for, as I already stated, it's a core wave vital test only. So if you have been using page speed insights or Google Crux APIs, right? You know that how exactly Google calculates the Chrome user experience data for opt-in users in the Chrome browser. What do I mean by this jargon? Is that, let's just say you have a website, and if people are coming to your website and they are logged in Chrome users and who have enabled that their data should be synced with the Google Crux ecosystem to tell them that what is the experience of that user while browsing through different websites. So this is what we call Crux, Chrome User Experience Report, and Google allows you to access this report free of cost. And that is why we have created bulk core web vital test. If you will pay attention to our dashboard, the single core wave vital test allows you to look into the current core wave vital of your data and also the last 6 months of the history of it. The historical data that we extract is the process by which Google Crux API only gives us the capability to look into any particular URL that is publicly available. In terms of enough data sampling, we are able to extract the data for it. Now, lots of users have requested this feature where they wanted to perform a bulk core wave vital test, and that is how we realized that okay, we need to create something for these kind of users wherein they can just save time and just perform these kind of bulk testing of the URLs for the real Chrome user experience reports. So without wasting any time, let's just dive deep into it. If you can see my screen, currently I have selected my portfolio, and you can select either your portfolio or competitor. I have a couple of portfolios with me, so I'll take Auditzy as a portfolio. I can directly import the URLs from the sitemap, or I can select the existing URLs from my portfolio which I have already added. So if you'll see, I have around 52 pages in my portfolio. I'll select two for an example, home and about page, and I have given it a name called Auditgy Test 1, and I have added something called Google Key. This Google Key is a very important piece to understand, right? So what exactly is Google Key? To understand that, we will go to the FAQ section, and here you can see like we have curated a very good content for you to understand what is Google Crux API key and why do you need to enter this key. So you need to enter this key because with this key we will be able to perform bulk core web vital test on all the URLs for your domain or your competitor domain, right? So the only reason why we need this is because once you have this particular key with you, then you should be able to perform multiple requests at in parallel with that key, which is not possible with a single core wave vital test, because we have only one key which is kind of dedicated to the different kind of all the users. Now if you want a dedicated key and perform those things in bulk, all you need is to copy this key from the Google Cloud Console and add it into our ecosystem. Now how to create a Google Crux API key? For that, you need to go to console.cloud.google.com, which is nothing but you can click on here. It will open the whole dashboard for you, and the moment this dashboard will be open, you should be able to find, either you will see to create a new project, or you will have a my project section. So these kind of things that you are looking over here is mostly because I already have created a project in Google Cloud Console. That is why this particular, this drop down is coming here. I can select my project. If you have not created any project, you will be asked to create a project. Let's just say you have created the project, then you can go quickly to the APIs and services. You click on API and services. It will take some time to fetch all the data, whatever the different kind of services that Google offers, and this will open a dashboard of something like this. Here you have to go to the credentials. The moment you will go to the credentials, you just have to see that what kind of API keys that we already have. I have already created a Crux key, and this key is restricted, but I'll show you that how you can create your own key. You just have to click on create credentials, click on the API key, and it will generate the API key for you. Now what do I mean by that? If it's generate an API key for you, so this is the API key. You just need to copy this key and come over to the Auditzy, this particular UI, and paste it here. For the very first time users, this area will be open. Now let's just say to have this key, I just want this key to be restricted for the different kind of use cases. Let's just say I just want this key to be used only for the Crux API purpose. So for that, what I need to do, I need to first check that do I have the permission for the Crux API or not. So I'll go to the library, and from here, I'll start searching for something called Crux, and I'll just hit enter. It will give me a data called Crux UX Report API. I have to click on it, and it will fetch the data, and it will show me a green tick saying that API enabled. It means that since I have already enabled my API, that is why this particular message is coming here. If you have not enabled this API, the system will ask you to enable this first. So all you need is to enable this API, and once you have enabled this API and you have generated the key, then you have to go back to your API library, and from here you can come back to the root folder, click on the credentials again, and you can see like one of the credentials that I have recently created, API key 3. I can click on this particular API key 3. In the top right, you will be able to see the value of that particular API key, which is over here, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to restrict this key. So if I'm going to restrict this key, here I have to select, okay, which particular feature of Google Cloud Console this key will accomplished for. So for an example, I have this Chrome UX Report API. I'll check it, I'll click on OK, and I'll save it. The moment I'll save it, it will give me this API key, which is a green tick, which is a restricted key. Now if I have to click on this show key button, I'll get this API key. I can come back here and I can add this key over here. Since I have already added a Google API key, so I'm not going to add it. But if you want to update the Google API key, for an example, then in that case, you have to go to your profile section. You have to go to the Google Crux API key. Here, you can just remove this and paste this new API key, click on the save changes, and system will ask you for a prompt. Yes, you have to update this, and the system will update this key for you. Now the next time if you will go for the Crux batch or bulk CW test, what you need to do, you have to go through like selecting your portfolio, for an example Auditzy, and then test Auditzy demo, for example. Then I'll just select a couple of pages, for an example, home page and about, and then I'll just hit on start patch test. The moment I'll hit on a start patch test, it will tell me that, okay, are you willing to proceed for this particular procedure? Then I'll click on yes, and the system will start doing this two URLs based batch testing simultaneously. You will find a status here, which is, nothing but the different kind of status. If any particular batch core wave vital test is done, then you will see the completed status, otherwise you will find in progress. Now if you will refresh it, you will see that this particular report is ready, which is a test Auditzy demo created at August 24, 2023, 12:11 p.m. Now, if you see the email icon here, it states that the moment your report will be ready, we will inform you via email. Why it's important? Because sometimes you can have thousands of URLs and it will take longer time. So you just want to add this and then just go and grab some coffee, and by the time your report will be ready, we will notify you. You can also schedule this whole piece. If, let's just say, if your website or your, the different kind of domains or subdomains you are interested in monitoring for, we request you to kindly refrain from a daily bulk core vital test, because it's not going to adding decent amount of value to your ecosystem. We suggest that you should go for weekly testing, because this data does not change much over the course of time, right? So every week you will be able to find some sort of serious improvements, or whatever the the rise and drop into your actual core web vital chrome user experience report. You can also delete this batch for sure, it's completely up to you, and you can perform the retest of the batch also. Every time you perform any action, the system will ask you a prompt, so that it will not accidentally do anything until unless it's not required. Now let's just go into this particular report detail to understand how exactly this feature works. So if you click on view details, you will see here, for the test Auditzy demo, we have currently two batches for the Auditzy domain, which is test 1 and test Auditzy demo. You can switch between those particular details here, and you can see also the date and time of this particular batch test that we have done. Now since we had only two URLs in batch, so you can say that there are 0 URLs which are passing, there is one URL which is getting failed, and there is one URL for which there is no data for the desktop. And for the mobile, similarly, there are two URLs for which there is no data. It means that there is not enough data sampling available with Google to calculate this kind of information. Now if you further scroll down, you will find that core web vitals three metrics like LCP, FID, and the CLS, that particular details is in front of you. You can see that all my LCP is having no data for desktop and mobile modes. Similarly for the FID, but the CLS is passing for desktop and there is no data available for the mobile. The number of percentage 50% is on the basis of the number of URLs that will be added in that batch test. Since I have had two URLs, so the pass count is 50%. Now the other notable metrics are also available. For an example, FCP, time to first byte, and interaction to next paint, which is soon going to be a core web vital from April 2024 onwards. So you can see all those detailings here. If you have more amount of data, you will have different kind of graphics interpretation here. Now if I want to check that which particular URLs are passing these kind of metrics, I just have to click on see details over here, and here I can filter the different the combinations. For an example, if I have to click on no data for desktop, I can see that okay, about page is having no data for desktop. If I have to look for the mobile, there is landing page and the about page, both are having no data for the mobile. Now if I have to click on the failed, I can see for mobile none of my URLs are failing because there is no data. And if I'll go to desktop, then I can see that okay, my landing page is failing because there is no data available for LCP and the FID, but I do have the data for FCP and the time to first byte. Similarly, if I'll click on passed, I'll see that there is no URLs passing on desktop. If I'll go to mobile, again it's the similar case. But if I want to check only CLS, then I have to click on CLS and it will tell you that okay, this particular URL is passing CLS. So these are the different kind of filters that we have created so that you can play around with the system and understand the different kind of use cases as per your requirement. So guys, that's all about the bulk core wave vital test. You can perform bulk core wave vital test from two places. One is from Crux directly. You have to select portfolio and competitor and get going with that. You can also go to your portfolio over here and you can see this bulk CWB test tab. Herein you can create multiple bulk CWB testing. You can click on start bulk testing of CWBs. Here you will not find the portfolio and computer drop down because you are directly coming from a particular portfolio itself. So this is the way the bulk core wave vital test works currently, and we really hope that this particular feature will help you save time and gain more data driven insights about your website, your competition website, or any website that you want to monitor for which those data sets are publicly available. Having said that, this particular feature is currently in beta, and in some time we will make it production ready as well. We will move out of beta, but it's more or less 99.99% stable. But we just want to understand the feedback from you so that we can iterate better, that what kind of additional features or data sets that you need inside this particular piece. Also, the current hard limit for number of urls in one batch is 5,000, so you will not be able to add more than 5,000 urls in any particular batch. So that's all about the video. Thanks a lot for listening me out, and I really hope that you will be able to get going with our new bulk core vital test feature. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email at support@auditzy.com. Thank you.